Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got a whole lot of people joining me. First, I got Steve Rankel. I got Hollywood Wade. I got Eddie Ciccone. I got William Steele. I got Anthony Ramundi.
What's
I
going
got
on?
Invest in Yourself Clothing.
What up? What up?
So we got a whole bunch of people here today, and we got some topics to talk about, and we're gonna lay it all on the line and expose some fraudulent activities that's been going on the internet. So first off, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and all these people on the screen, they all have shows. You can go subscribe to their channels. Um, Partners in Crime, Crime and Entertainment. There's Anthony Ramundi. There's William Steele, Invest in Yourself podcast, and Eddie Ciccone Films. So thank you guys for joining me today. So we all have something in common, right?
Indeed.
And
Someone, however you want to put it.
we all have someone in common, and
Right.
we're here to talk about it, our experiences, so that other people aren't duped, just like we were. So we're gonna start off with Invest in Yourself because he has some things he has to do. So we're gonna start off with him, and he's gonna explain the treachery of what's been going on his side.
Okay.
So,
Okay. You want me to go ahead and just kind of explain what I kind of went through with me and Anthony and then William?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. From your perspective of what happened with you,
Okay.
man.
So I've been trying to get a hold of Anthony to do an interview for maybe a few months, and it kept getting pushed back and stuff, and then eventually I was able to get a hold of his manager or quote unquote manager. I don't know what the whole deal was, but with Liz, and then I got a hold of her. I gave her some money to give to Anthony, and she was going to keep a little bit of it, and then we were going to do an interview, and so we did. And he was supposed to get the money. There's some issues with it, a lot of issues, and Hollywood Wade, even knows because he was going to give the money to her. But we did an interview, so me and Anthony, we still have it in the background. We're gonna probably post it in sometime after this, right, Anthony?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
all that, and then so anyways with that, and then we kind of where we're at now was she gave me William Steele to do, and the kind of thing that she offered me was like kind of like a compensation on waiting on Anthony, to get the money or whatever, so she kind of used him as like a saying that he was a $1,000 guest, you know what I mean? And then so I didn't say nothing to him. I just kind of went with it, whatever, like, and she said, I'll buy it. And then, me and William did 2 interviews, and then come to find out, she didn't give him any money, which I didn't either, you know what I mean? And so I was just like, okay, well, I just kind of went with it, you know what I mean? Because I didn't really want to, ask William when I first met him, hey, did she give you money? I just kind of asked, were you compensated? And he said they had something worked out. So I was just like, all right, cool, whatever, So it ended up happening. He didn't get nothing. And then I guess, kind of same thing with Anthony, you know what I mean? So
how much money altogether do you think estimated that you paid out that you didn't get anything in return?
I only gave her money for Anthony, a couple $100, and then Wade was supposed to she was supposed to send the money to Anthony. He couldn't get it, and then because he don't have PayPal and that stuff, so we couldn't get it to him. So Wade was going to give it to him in Hollywood or in fucking New York when he went last week. And then Wade, you kind of explain why you couldn't get the money.
Okay, so obviously everybody knows that the popular payment methods nowadays are PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, things like that. Well, she tried to turn me on to this new thing called Square. And I know Square is a legitimate company. A lot of people see them with the thing hooked into the cell phones where you can just, swipe your card right across it. So it's a legit company, but I only created it simply to get the money that I needed to give to Anthony. That's the only reason. So I didn't really go into detail when I created the account.
Yeah, but Chip, there was money that you had to get too that she owed you.
Yeah, a few dollars she owed me. So all that was supposed to be sent to me through Square. Well, once it got sent, it come through, but then Square sends me this email saying, "Oh, we're reviewing your account, this, that, and the third. You got to provide this ID information, bank statements, yada yada yada." So I did all that while I was in New York. Took time out of my vacation to do that. Then once I got back home, so I wasn't even able to meet Anthony to give him that money. And then once I got back this past Monday, it completely, like, I got an email saying that everything was locked, and it's going to be locked for at least 90 days, up to 160. So that's at least 3 months that this account is going to be locked, and it could be, longer than that, depending. And the only person I've got money from on it is her.
Wow, man.
So that's my connection to the Adrian Anthony situation. I know William Steele's got a little bit different of a, situation. Obviously, Eddie's got a completely different situation. And Steve, you have your own as well. And Staxx, I'm sure you have your, story we'll get to.
Oh, that
So
was a different
this person that we're talking about, she uses it's an alias. So
Yes.
this alias is Elizabeth Coppola.
Elizabeth Coppola.
Well, she doesn't have any, and this is a statement from the Coppola family. There's no relation to the Coppola family. Absolutely none.
And we know that's not her name anyway.
Right. Well,
Yeah, we have her real name, and we're not going to put it on the air. But I'm willing to drop the link in the chat. So if you want to come on here and defend yourself against any of these allegations, you have every right to do so.
come on, Liz.
The link will be in the chat, so you can jump on and explain your side of this story.
Well,
so
yeah.
let's get to so the link is in the description. Let's get to Eddie.
Yeah, figured you were going to pick on me.
So Eddie, man,
The thing about me is, though, she didn't scam me out of money. She can't. I don't have any. I wouldn't be looking for money for my movie. If anything, she was gonna, when she did her Vegas, so-called Vegas thing, look her up. Maybe she'll think about throwing me 10,000 towards screws.
That's that magic number is 10 grand. Everybody's getting 10 grand.
But don't ask me now, she said. Don't ask me now. I got too much going on. Look me up in about 6 months after I get the show in Vegas, the big show with all the big stars are going to be on it. Walking her psychic, whatever it is, psychic store on the Strip, and all this stuff she told me about. That's when I first met her. And then she kind of like did a U-turn on me, a 180. And she's in my group, Sicoli Films, which has about almost 3,000 people. It's a private group, but there's some prominent people in that group, and she really embarrassed me. People started texting me saying, "Eddie, do you see what this girl Liz Coppola is saying about you?" And making the post public.
Yeah.
And not only that, and I said, no, they're PMing me people. Oh, there you go. There you go.
One of them.
There's one.
And it's pretty, it gets bad. Like,
going to have me arrested for what?
The police get involved.
Right. Well, she claimed to involve the police, and I heard that was all BS. Yeah. I talked to my cousin's New Jersey state trooper, and he says, "Eddie, she can't come and just to your house with a film crew and arrest you. That's not due process of the law. That's not how it works."
Right.
We all know that. But anyway, what she did to me was, first of all, she burned a couple of bridges with some good people, because apparently with people I liked in the industry. And I don't want to mention their names. They know who they are. Hopefully they'll see this, and they'll form a second opinion on her, the right one.
And put two and two together and
put two and two together. That I wasn't the bad guy a year ago when she said I'm a stalker. You got to be crazy. Then she posed as this girl, Josephine Caro. I sent it to you, Bill.
Yeah.
I think I sent you that. She was Josephine Caro, and those comments coming from her. Yeah, there we go. Well, it brings back memories. I hate to look at this stuff, but she really did a job on me, trying to ruin me, and discredit me with a lot of good people. Some people unfriended me because of her. Most people stayed with me. There's probably some people watching this right now who I told to watch this that would love to probably just comment or jump in, but that had my back all the way, and they stayed with me. Otherwise, the 3,000, the 2,900 people in my group wouldn't be there. But some did leave. I lost some good people that I liked, that I cared for, that I thought were friends. And one of these people, or maybe even two or three, thought Liz Coppola was going to do something for them. One had a series going. And I think that's ultimately why he unfriended me and left the group. Is not because he said, Eddie, I don't want to be involved in the drama. That's what he said when I confronted him about it. I said, What are you doing? So and so. I said, what are you doing? We're friends. I said, this ain't about the drama. This is because you think Liz Coppola is going to help you promote your series.
Yeah.
When this girl has nothing to do with the industry. In fact, I was just told before we did this broadcast by somebody big. In fact, the girl works for Brad Pitt. You know what she told me? Brought the name up to him. Nobody in California knows her.
Yeah,
Nobody in Hollywood knows who she is.
Every single person I spoke to, nobody has met her in person. Nobody has ever met her in person, and they don't know who this person is.
Yeah,
She's
there's
from
the red.
Yeah,
Is that
right away.
huge red flag.
What does that tell you?
She's from Canada. The bottom line is she is from Canada.
She's still in
we
Canada.
found out who she really is.
Right.
Her real name, identity. She's from Canada. She's not from the U.S.
Right.
And she's scheming people, man. She uses videos from online to act like she's going to this place and this place, and it's a bunch of fraudulent activity. And so now we're gonna move on to
So when you say she's going to place to place, is that when she's always saying I'm at a B&B here and here?
yeah.
She's always
exactly.
Yeah, I'm in Vegas.
And I don't fly
in
coach.
New York.
I don't fly coach.
Because it's always the picture. It's never her. Like in most of everybody in here, if we take a picture or whatever, we're most likely in the picture to prove that we're there. Yeah. I was just in New York a lot on my page, so you can see that I was in New York. With her, it's this very generic posting to where it's the illusion that she's there, but it's like I guarantee if you Google search half them images, shit would come back of that's not even her photo to begin with.
Right.
Yeah, she's always in the B&B, or she's staying in a mansion that her friend gave her a mansion in. I think she says I forgot where, and not in Canada, someplace, and she got the whole top floor of the mansion for herself. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and Eddie, I was a developing independent producer with my wife for 15 years, working with production companies all over LA, all over New York, all over up in Canada, and I talked to the people that I knew who they're still doing it or might have been working in that industry recently. Not a single one know who she is. So is that the who? Is that the same Coppola, Francis Ford's relative or what? I said she's claiming to be. So yeah, same thing.
If he was involved with the movie industry, there would be paperwork. There would be something with her name on it saying she did
credits.
This, she did
you
that.
You live and die by credits. Everybody knows that. If you know anything about that business, it's your credits.
If I could add, she would always claim she had a stalker. Right now, I'm a crime victim advocate now, and that's the reason she pulled all her social media down, because she's got a stalker. Her IMBD, her details about her life, and that they beat her up real bad and all this. I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. in my book, a lot of psychics have problem with people because they get somebody's elderly family members, somebody lost a loved one, they get all their money, they go sit in their house to do all these things. Now, just to introduce myself real quick, Staxx. So everybody here, I know most of you guys. Yep, I wrote that book, Ghislaine, Sensational and Pure, about my unfortunate relationship with Ghislaine Maxwell. So great book, check it out. Anyway, I just got out of prison, 18 years for nonviolent crimes. Okay, I was a jewel and art thief, and the days of darkness caused me to see the light. I was involved in helping inmates. I worked in the law library. I'm a very well trained law clerk, and I've been around all kinds of bullshit from the streets of New York to guys in prison. So I came out and I really wanted to have a different life. I wanted to help people, crime victims especially. So we've been unmasking a lot of con artists and stuff as we go. Well, my books were doing well, and just before I got out of prison, I was offered a part on this TV show, Inmate to Roommate. It's on A&E, and incredibly, it premiered at the 25th show in ratings out of 150. And then the second week, which was last Thursday, it shot up to 13. And everything, if you go on hashtag Inmate to Roommate on Twitter, I'm like the most popular character. And I'm just really humbled by all this. I'm sitting here trying to build up a true crime channel and an interview program like you guys are doing. Only thing I have right now is the true crime channel. Here's what happens. So I'm all over the internet trying to meet people. Don't forget, I've been in prison 18 years. Social media, for the most part, did not exist. Neither did my smartphone. And now I'm forced to use it every day. I'm trying to figure this thing out. So I'm trying to learn all these social media platforms that all you guys got introduced to one at a time as they came on board. I'm trying to learn them all at once to market my books and meet people and network and all this, because no matter what, I don't take no for an answer. Everything's subject to negotiation, and I'm about making connections. Well, Liz is one of the people I connected with on one of these, actors sites, everybody supporting each other in New York. And she was on there. And I said, hey, here's what I'm doing. And you say you represent people on social media. I'm doing back-to-back podcasts. My reality show is about to come out on A&E. And, if you could line me up some interviews. And she sold me this dream about getting me $1,000 to $2,000 per episode. Per interview.
I've heard that. I've heard that one too.
Right. I said, Liz Coppola, the Godmother agent. She has another site called Readings by Mother Courage.
Exactly.
She's got like 70,000 something followers on there. God only knows how. She's getting people from all over the world that believe she's helping them.
Probably paid.
Now I want to introduce my fiance, Dr. Mary Bass. Mary got into UC Berkeley.
Hello, Mary.
Hi, how you doing, Mary?
Good, how are you? Mary got into UC Berkeley at 15 years old. Okay, she's a genius. Now, I met her shortly before I got out of prison. We're engaged now, and she's a forensic accountant. She's a certified civilian fraud examiner. She's a member of the ACFE, Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. So if anybody knows bullshit, it's us, and so we started peeling back her layers along with some of you gentlemen on the screen, and every promise she made was bullshit, and she caused me to turn down interviews on other shows where I don't charge for interviews, Now, don't get me wrong. If one of you guys out there listening, ever wants to donate some money for me to help me get on my feet, I'll accept it like the rest of everybody. We're all trying to earn a living, right? And I was a jewel thief and an art thief. I'm not trying to do that anymore. So I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to earn a living doing this. Well, she sells me this dream that she's going to get me paid things. She has me turn down a slew of other interviews because they're not paying. Oh, and then she gives me Adrian, who just was on the air here, and Hollywood Wade, Crime and Entertainment, and says, they're my friends. You got to do them for free for me. Do me the favor, good faith, blah, blah, blah. I would have did them for free anyway. I didn't know the guys. I was glad for the introduction. No problem. I did the shows. I even developed a friendship with these guys. They give me some pointers about social media, how to market myself better. And, she wasn't happy. She complains about everything, tries to dictate everything, and, just complaining about everything. And then she started telling me about Anthony, and she started telling me about Steve, and how Steve, the gentleman here who was running her merchandise line, had ripped her off and stole money and this and that, and how Anthony was this and that and the other thing, which there's no point repeating. And it was like, who was this? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Drop for a second. So I know from like the Madoff story and from studying stuff online, one of the marks of a true con artist, of a very, very effective con artist, is getting even their victims to love them, like them, and defend them. So you have this many followers who are not going to believe any of us because you know why? She's promising them something. She's selling them a dream. And there's another guy, Stephen Gillum, who she claims on her page to be representing. Well, she never got me one paid interview. She cost me to lose tons of opportunity and exposure on numerous other offers that I was getting, just for doing podcasts. And I get to throw my book up. And so God knows how many thousands of dollars that's already cost me. I've only been out of prison a few months, about a year now. And so I'm really struggling still to get on my feet. I need an Apple computer to try to do a better job on my own podcast. So she's hitting up people that are like dire straits and, pretending to be your friend, pretending to be your advocate. So that's a true mark of a con artist. Even the victims defend them initially. So we're hoping to open up some eyes here as crime victim advocates. Mary's a crime victim advocate. I am. And, one of the other things is that they will try to isolate their victims. They will try to get them not to talk to each other. They will convince people to block one another.
Yeah,
block him. He's no good.
This one.
Well, Bill, let me
ask you. She does with us. When she gets done with us, she blocks you right away.
That's right.
That's it.
And then she tells everybody who she sees is in their circle, hey, block him. He's no good. He's this. He's that.
Exactly. Right.
If you guys
Bill, I wanted to.
Yeah.
Bill, I wanted to ask you something. You're talking about what she's done to you that affected you monetarily and credibility wise.
Well, she offered this Las Vegas. You're going to work in the store. You're going to have an episode once a week, and don't do this opportunity. Don't do that.
He told me all about that. Right.
And there was nothing. Nothing was ever there. It
never panned out. It never panned out.
There's nothing there.
Yeah, she sent me the same shit. It was after her and Staxx kind of parted up. It was like, I want to bring you out to Vegas and do this, that, and the third, and yada, yada, yada. And I mean, the reason why I got kind of snowed is because some of the people that she sent me were legit people. And I don't even want to name the names right now because I've spoken to people in confidence and I told them that I won't bring them up because these are highly influential people that have established films, that are established writers and that are currently in productions. But the people
have any of them met her? Have any of them met?
No, that's what I was going to say. Any of these people, I've done the interviews, I moved on. But then once I started noticing these red flags, I reached out to them individually. Nobody, and I say nobody, has met this woman in person. It all started through social media and with the Vegas thing. That's how it all started.
Right. Well, so we see on the Readings by Mother Courage page that she has some videos up so you can see her, but she also has a lot of Photoshopped images up, including with Ivanka Trump. Now, we've had it analyzed. We know it's a Photoshop. She never met the girl.
Yeah.
She's not Francis Ford Coppola's relative. My attorneys are aware of this. My network's aware of it. She was supposed to have a conference call to do some stuff for me with my PR guy, who was the vice president of NBC in New York, and he's a very good friend of mine. He's got Transmedia Group down in Boca Raton. We were all supposed to be on a conference call, a conference video, whatever, just before my show started airing to coordinate publicity. She's the only one that ghosted everybody, and the network warned me about her. So this is what you have. By her metrics, she owes me $2,000 for the 2 interviews I did. And for the thousands she cost me and refusing all these other interviews when I'm trying to build up a respectable name and be a victim advocate and help people. And she's lying, and I heard from somebody, I don't want to name names, said to me that she is currently selling my interviews still, collecting the money, and then telling them that I'm the one that's not showing up.
I've heard it. I've heard the same thing, man.
When I met her on the internet. She had sent me a friend request. All right. I put, it said Elizabeth Coppola, fine. I started talking to her. She called me up. And she was telling me, you're the one that has the book, When the Bullet Hits the Bone. You got the podcast. I said, yes. She said she could do all this. She can get me. She's going to do a movie deal for me. Her company, she's got a big production company. She's in Canada right now filming a $20 million movie and so on as going on. So I introduced her to Staxx, which I'm glad Staxx don't hate me for introducing me to her.
I should, Anthony.
So what happens, she said that she's on the Las Vegas Strip. She's building a store, Mother Coverage, because she's a psychic and she's a witch. Well, if she's a psychic, she should have seen that this was coming.
Yeah.
So she ain't that good of a
Exactly.
psychic.
Right. You didn't see this?
She didn't see this coming. So I introduced her to Staxx, and then she's promising him $7,000 or $8,000. I think she said $7,000 or $8,000 a month. You could live with her and this and that, whatever. So me and Staxx were I was a little pissed with Staxx because they were hiding it. They didn't tell me nothing. That is why wouldn't you tell me? Oh, Liz told me not to tell you nothing. Okay, fine. Then I got my manager lives in Las Vegas. Now I have a very dear friend of mine, my friend Eddie Barbero. He runs one of the casinos down there. Now I asked the both of them. They said there's nothing down here with a mother coverage store being built, nothing at all. I confronted Liz. No, it's there. They didn't see it. She calls me up one day and says, see, they're building. You can hear guys doing construction work in the background. She could have been by a construction site, or she could have had a recording that she was playing. Now, her and Staxx have a falling out. And Staxx takes off where
no falling out, man. I decided she's a fraud, and I'm gonna go to Minneapolis, be a DJ. I'm not gonna deal with none of this no more. So that's what I did.
When he goes to Minneapolis, I see him, and I'm still talking with him. She calls me up and says, "Did you see Staxx? Look, he's high on drugs. Then he's drinking. Look, him slurring his words. Look at his eyes. They're glassy. They're big." I says, Liz, I don't see that. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I says, Liz, I see him. I like the guy. The guy's my friend. I see him on his videos. I don't see that. Well, the people in Chicago told me I better keep away from him because they're going to get him. And if they get him, they don't want me there because then they got to get me and they don't want me to get hurt. I said, Liz, you're out of your freaking mind. So now she turns around and says, keep away from Staxx. Don't do nothing with him. Don't talk to him, whatever.
Mark of the con artist.
She turned down a couple of interviews with me. And then she hooked me up with Chip. Then me and Chip did a show. And for some reason, this crazy, insane person calls us up that she didn't like the show. Remember, Chip? She wanted us to take it down. You better take it down. I ain't taking down shit. You better take it down.
I remember.
Team of lawyers.
Your head is too high. Your head is too low.
Yeah.
She's got her whatever, her people. She's going to sue us. Go ahead, sue me.
Yeah.
The interview. Now, she didn't like it because you didn't see me. You didn't see all of me in the, like you only see part of me on the recording because the way I had the computer set up. And she just went off. And all of a sudden, now she wants nothing to do with me. I'm no good. I'm this, that, and whatever. And all of a sudden, then she gets in touch with Staxx. Oh, you're my best friend. I like you. I'm going to help your career. And she's trying to play him again.
Shut that down, though. Shut that down.
She is a fraud, Liz Coppola.
So the next person,
she inserted herself into the true crime community of guys trying to turn their lives around and tell their stories. Yeah. What kind of idiot
can you be? I'll go you one better. Hey,
how stupid can you be to insert yourself in this environment and think you're going to go undetected for long?
All right, you want to hear one better than that? Narcissist. Argues with me on the phone, and I told you two guys. I told Steve. I told you, Chips. I told Staxx and them. We get into an argument, and she threatens me with John A. Light. She's sending John A. Light after me, and then she says she's sending what's the other guy? The guy that
was with John A. Light.
What's the other guy? The guy that was with Greg Scarpa. What's his name?
Mazza?
Larry Mazza?
Larry?
I said, send him. I said, send him. I said, as a matter of fact, I'll get in touch with them and I'll speak to them myself. Oh, you can't do it. Why can't I do that? Well, you can't do that. They're going to get you. Oh, well, I'm still waiting. Let them get me.
You know, I hate to speak for other people, but if I had to bet money, and I know Larry's a gambling man himself, right. Mm-hmm. I would bet that Larry has no fucking idea who she is.
I believe it. Larry and John A. Light, I believe they have no idea. Like when John A. Light's daughter passed away and condolences go to him and his family, he writes my best friend, my companion, my this. I'm sorry about your daughter. She's writing like she knows the guy for 100 years. I don't even think she knows.
No.
Exactly.
So we got another person, man. We got Steve. Steve's gonna break down.
Oh, Steve got really.
And here it gets really juicy with this, man. So you want to take it away?
Don't leave nothing out.
No, not leaving anything out. So hello everyone. I'm Steve. I had a show and an online station called Real Mob Radio Network for a while, and I became friends with Staxx. He brought me in to do the YouTube thing. Did that for a little while, and Liz Coppola would jump in and was a fan, and she would comment on the shows and this and that. And when Staxx left Liz, or just broke it off, said, "You're a fraud, I'm gone," whatever they did, she immediately started reaching out to me. Oh, I know that you're you're a friend. Maybe you can help me with this, help me with that. Try to help me find Staxx. So it was one of those, Staxx is missing, right? So anyway, I'm gonna cut right to it. So I said, yeah, of course, Staxx is a friend. I'm gonna help out. I have a store, a swag store that I created called Mob Swag, and it's a series of collections, T-shirts, designs, everything. So Staxx has one, Anthony's got one. So that was kind of something that I was doing for all the YouTube providers, and so we started to talk, and then she just started. I could see she started to turn me on Staxx, like, did you see she always has admins. She always had her people, right?
Yeah,
staff.
My people's been watching Staxx video. Look, he looks high. He looks like he's wasted. I'm like, listen, I took me 3 times in sobriety. I was a jazz musician in the 80s, so that's all I'm going to say. But I had problems with sobriety, okay? And I know what it looks like to be high when you're not. And Staxx is very, very, very regiment on wanting to maintain his own, and me too. So I didn't believe anyway. Anyway, she started to turn me, but then she says, listen, can you do a couple of mugs and maybe my Mother Courage thing? And she said, yeah, we can do that. So she would check in on me every once in a while. Then I had during this time, Staxx, you can talk about it some other time, Staxx, if you want, but there was a feud with some other guys that are YouTube videos. I know who you are if you guys are watching this. That got into
Guzzo and Code of the Week.
And got into it, and basically, alienated Staxx and want to be with him, but they're cultish. So they said, if you gotta believe what I believe. I had their own collection. So long story short, Staxx went to Minneapolis. He was literally I live right outside of Minneapolis. He was literally 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes from my house, by the Mall of America.
I remember when y'all did that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see him. So I went up there and saw him, and did a live thing, and immediately got just hate from Cuzzo. It's like, what are you doing? I'm not going to work with you. He ended up burning my stuff on his YouTube. But here's the problem, and I'm only going to say this once, and then I'm going to move on to more Liz stuff. Because he says, I ripped him off. My company ripped him off. Using my name, ripped him off. Listen, I'm not a YouTube provider. I'm a businessman, and I'm going to put this out here exactly the way I want him to understand, because they obviously don't understand. What you're doing is slander. You're slandering somebody. I didn't rip anybody off, but I urge you, if you feel like that's an issue, hire an attorney, both you guys, have them contact me. I'll happy to give you all the financials, and then once you can see what the deal is, once we clear that up, then I'm going to countersue you. So just understand this right now. I'm not playing with you anymore. Same with Liz, okay? I don't come from a position of weakness. I'm coming from a position of strength. So I'm telling you now, don't say my name, don't mention my company, because the next time it's going to be a different conversation. So that's my address to them. So here's what happened with Liz. She says, listen, I got all this money tied up. Somebody owes me $17,000 on PayPal. I'm like, wow, really? Okay. Yes, and it's tied up. But she's really good at what she does, because she talks really fast, and she's talking really fast. Listen, I need this PayPal because I'm going to do some reading. So can you create a link for me? And once it comes through, the $77 per each one, when it comes through, then just send it to me at the end of the week. All right, fair enough, not a problem. There's no commitment of anything, so we did that. So that worked out fine, and then we started to design her godmother agent, which she pulled.
Who owns that? Hold up.
Nobody owns it.
Godmother
she doesn't.
agency?
Nobody. She has no copyright. She has no trademark. She doesn't have a copyright and a trademark on the other thing either. That stupid readings thing that she does. Nothing.
Yeah.
And by the way, my wife's an investigator. We're both investigators. I was in law enforcement, and I was a background in a skip tracer criminal investigator. So my wife is right now as well. So, and if she was a psychic, she would fucking know that, right? So anyway, so here we go. So then the next one, she comes to me and she says, I got a problem. You might have to help me. I have this storage locker in Canada that, they're going to sell my stuff, and I gotta pay it off, and I gotta get some money. Can you do a Western Union when we can get some money? I think this is when Chip might have threw some money at her. This is when somebody else threw some money at her. And anyway, it turned out to be like $400 and some total. that went into this PayPal account. Okay? So my stupid ass, I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. I'll go Western Union it to you in Canada. So that's what I did. It was $400
to a
some
woman
dollars.
with a $30 million deal in Las
Right.
Vegas.
And so I Western Union this thing to her. Okay, so I sent it to her, and about
you gotta laugh.
less than 24 hours after that, I get a charge. My bank account has an alert, a fraud alert that dings me that says my wife got it. You have a fraudulent charge that hits your account. It's Walmart, online Walmart store in Canada for like $100 for something stupid. And that was her. She got a hold of my information and she tried to run charges on my account. So I immediately shut her down. I said, holy shit. And before this, she calls me crying. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? She said, listen, I've been staying at these people, and this goes to what William said earlier about these psychics, that they go to your house, they latch onto you, they're at your place for a week, 2 weeks, because they don't have any place to go. They're like leeches. So she comes to the house, she hangs out, she gets what she can get, and then she moves on. But it seems like every time she moved on, there was drama. She lost her ID. Somebody tried to kidnap her. Somebody held her hostage. Some other bullshit. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And she says, listen, I need to get out of here, but I need to come to your house for a couple of days. Okay, listen.
You probably have a closet you could chain her within.
I've been married 33 years to an Italian girl from Chicago. Okay?
And that ain't happening.
That ain't happening. And it's just me and her, and it's a townhouse, small place.
Bro, I never even been to his house, man. I went all the way to Minnesota. I didn't even go to his
you'll come back. Yeah, but so really, I'm like, man, okay. So that was a big red flag. I said, I didn't even answer her. I just said, okay, we'll figure it out. So anyway, long story short, is I sent her a text and said, look, we're going to cut off our business relationship. This is over. It's done. I said the Godmother agent is up there. I can show you how to build your own, but when you set up these accounts, you have to use your own bank account, right? So set it up in Shopify. If you ever look at Shopify or any of this stuff, you got to have that. She wasn't going to give me any of her financials, so I set it up under my name, just to get something out there. That was her main thing she used. As look, I'm real. Look, I've got a Godmother agent. Look at this store that I have with all this cool shit. I built all that, and I paid for the subscriptions fee, so theoretically, I owned it, right? So when it came down to time for me to cut it off, I'm like, screw you. And I just shut it off, and then I sent her a text that said, I shut it off. You can build your own. And then all of a sudden, she sent me this long, and I'm looking at it right here, these long tirade text messages from her Mark from New York City, her admin from New York. And it was her. Admin, and it's just these rambling, incoherent. You just embarrassed a bunch of people. I just put a $10,000 retainer with an attorney. I got a bunch of people coming after you.
Everything's 10 grand with this woman.
10 grand. So
everything's 10 grand.
That's what number I think you remember it.
So what'd you say, Eddie? Go ahead.
She's got people like me. She's got people coming after you too.
Right, exactly. Okay. And I'm like, fine, go ahead. And then she said something about a weird video I sent off. So it's almost this pattern started coming out of what she does to people when she's not getting her way. She's an extortionist. She's going to blackmail you.
Of course,
she's classic. If I was a criminal, and listen, I knew a lot of guys, and I was on the street, and I was a bodyguard for wise guys for a long time. I worked around them for years and years in the clubs. So if you're halfway articulate, she's a master at this. She knows how to manipulate you because she comes at you hard. I'm pissed. I don't have a few more. I have a few minutes. I need you to do this. I need you to do this. I need you to pop, do it. And I'm like, okay. So the only thing I'm going to thank her for is I got really good at designing under pressure because she was screaming and hollering and shit. I'm a great designer under pressure. But the bottom line is I'll admit, she sucked me in, and she took me for a ride, and so I'm trying to think of what else. As soon as I shut her Godmother agent thing down, she lost her connection to her credibility. That whole thing was gone, and that was it. I mean, and so she was threatening me like crazy, and then the last thing she says, if you respond to me one more time, I'm going to consider you a stalker. And this is Mike. This is Mark saying this. Mark, the admin.
Sounds familiar, don't it?
Oh my God!
Right. Right.
I was a stalker.
I got that same line from her also.
Oh, you got the stalker line too?
Yeah, and then she blocked me on everything. But every time she puts something up about the Godmother agent, it comes on my website. But everything else, she's got me blocked from.
Hey, Staxx.
Well, Steve, when that happened to you, immediately she was like, "Oh, Steve's no good. This, that, and other." And I think you and I had spoke briefly, one time before, but I didn't know anything like about you in depth, and I knew that she had set up that store with you. But she's like, "Oh, you need to block him. He's no good. You got to take him off your friends list. Do it right now. Do it right now while I'm on the phone."
Yeah,
do it while I'm on the phone.
She wants to isolate you so you don't talk to these people.
She
so
told me to take Staxx off my friends list.
I just got one question for all of you. Now, some of you remember this. She said she had to go get, and you know what I'm going to say, Steve, and I think Chip knows too. What happened to the surgery she was supposed to get in August when they were taking her jaw out because she's got cancer in the jaw, and they're putting a fake jaw in with the teeth, and she's giving her doctor since like April $36,000 every month on her credit card, and that she supposedly is having the surgery done in Manhattan. I haven't heard nothing about that.
I'm hearing the wrenches back, Gianni. There was a problem with the wrenches, but I'm giving them back, man.
What? Say it again?
I heard that same story about the titanium jaw and all this nonsense.
Right.
My paid interviews were going to start in 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. 6 weeks go by. We already know she's a fraud. We're just, whatever.
Yeah.
So the lawyers, I think the FBI and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police are now like really on her tail. I can't say much more than that. Good. Let me reintroduce Mary. Dr. Mary Bass has her tale of woe with Liz Coppola.
Yeah, let's hear it. I want to hear this.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Good, Cindy.
Well, Liz first called Bill out of the blue on July 9th, and he didn't seem to know who she was, but she rattled on and on for about an hour and a half. All this name dropping, a lot of name dropping about New York, very little about Las Vegas, which is odd because she claims that as some home turf. A lot of talk about Italians. I heard her voice right away when Bill was off the phone. I said, "Bill, she's obviously Canadian. I know this."
Obviously.
Hey.
She's got plenty of Canadians in the family, so
Yeah.
she knows the different accents.
I said she's obviously a Vancouver area Canadian. Sometimes that has to be met with a little more trepidation. Obviously, I'm partial to Toronto and the East Coast.
No wonder she was there.
I think the quote was, "There's a lot of con artists and call girls in Vancouver."
That may have been. But I'm from California, unfortunately.
10 grand she charges. 10 grand.
So
That's right. No more.
I've seen all the money crooks because California is just overflowing with money crooks, scammers, con artists. Mm-hmm. So I've seen the best of the best, the worst of the worst, and then the mediocre types. I'm not dealing with any psychics. I think if she was psychic, then she wouldn't be asking me for information about people. Exactly. And I wouldn't give it to her because she's not retaining me. And a forensic accountant is sort of like a math and money gangster. It's way more crazy than it sounds. And I just kind of wanted to see where this was going to go because Bill's really busy. So he doesn't have, day and night to chase down 1 million people with shows and contact this one, that one, keep track of everything, especially with inmate to roommate, just coming out. So Liz sort of jumped in as a savior of sorts, that she does this professionally. She'll handle everything. It's so streamlined and organized. She had wanted me to research and look into shows and get all the math and data about these shows, and I wasn't doing that. She name drops a lot of big shows too, saying that these things are in the works. For example, there's a channel on YouTube called Valuetainment, which is hosted by Patrick Bet-David, DJ Vlad's show, a lot of different shows, and she makes it sound like she knows all of these people personally. The name dropping got to be a little too much. I know Ivanka Trump. I know Donald Trump. I'm with the Trumps all the time. Britney Spears is coming to my house in Vegas next week. It sounded far-fetched, and I'm under the impression that she has a lot of fake accounts and keeps trying to catfish Bill.
Oh, we've got all ideas. She's got a few fake accounts out there. I don't want to say the name in case it's not.
Bella is one of them.
You think that's her?
Yeah, I know.
And Josephine Carroll. I know it. Because she.
Well, I'll tell you what. Out there, I'd like to make an announcement. If anybody knows exactly who she is or where she is, let us know. If anybody knows any of her catfish profiles, she could create 20 of them tomorrow And after this, she can't be the godmother agent or readings by Mother Courage anymore.
Hey, Flying Monkey, get your ass in the bathroom, man. No time for you.
She could play on people that have lost a loved one or dying of cancer and take their money and all these horrible things that these people allegedly do. But like I said, she had real nerve inserting herself in a true crime community. Where if she used her skills, she might actually be useful. Instead, she wanted to screw us all over and then act like we were stupid and then try to turn everybody against each other. And I should block you and I should block you. I was in prison with some really dangerous people. I didn't let them tell me what to do. I'm not going to let Liz Coppola tell me what to do. So.
Exactly.
Well, that just goes to show you she's a narcissist. She's a classic narcissist. If you know anything about what, I mean, all of us, anybody that's been in crime or been around criminals, I mean, you meet some of the smartest people I've ever known were criminals. And I will give her this. And if you're watching, I'm going to give you this. You were pretty good at what you did for a minute. But listen, you picked the wrong people because now you're in a whole world of bullshit. You're on the run, stay on the run, but you can't go forever. They're gonna find you and we're gonna expose you for real. And that's what needs to happen. But I will give her that. You're not bad at what you do. You like to yell and scream. Here's the thing she told me. She's talking to me about her son that was in the NFL. And I'm like, wow,
And her daughter who's a world famous.
I heard that too.
I knew guys that were NFL guys.
Actors,
Yeah, I have some friends that were playing, and that's what's the chances of getting to the NFL? If you were any family member, I think, who had somebody that went to the NFL is going to be proud, and they're going to tell everybody. And I said, well, what's the player's name? Oh, I can't tell you that. We're keeping that quiet. I'm like, whatever. Are you kidding me?
That's like what she said to me about her daughter, the big movie actress that made 10 movies, and she's got a $10 million mansion. I told her, why don't you go live with your daughter? Oh, no, I don't want to do that because they got their own people. What's her name? Oh, I can't tell you. I got to keep that secret. Why? If she's a movie actress and she made 10 movies, her name's going to be on the credits.
She says she won't tell anybody anything because she's got a stalker. That's a good excuse to shut us down. And anybody who says, well, you're ripping us off or conning us, who are you? Where are you really? It's because she knows she's about to burn each one of us in due time. And tomorrow she can go on. Tomorrow she can go on inventor groups. Guys trying to invent a bicycle or a new whatever, a new type of bicycle, and she'll go on those groups and say she's the only person with connections in the industry. I'll get your product manufactured. I know companies in China and venture capitalists in Silicon Valley.
She ain't gonna scam people around here no more, and she ain't gonna take $1 from people I know.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this show gets out there.
I'll tell you guys, I was on the fence about doing this because, like Steve said, she's very good at what she does, and she did give me some credible people. There were people that were in the industry that have done stuff, not people that are doing or have done or have plans, people that have done stuff, like established people. So I was kind of, flattered that she gave me these people, but the more and more, like I said, once I found out they had never met her, they didn't know her, the only relationship was the Vegas shit and the 10 grand and all this, that, and the other. Right. I was like, it would be real easy for a new YouTuber and Staxx, this being in this game. William, you'll find it out coming into this game yourself. There's a lot of people that that come into it fresh and don't know, and that would be easy pickings for somebody to take advantage of them and try to get them for thousands of dollars and then leave them with nothing, because as we all have found out, she's left empty promises every turn she makes.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I look at it like this. I am a Christian. I'm a proud Christian. I'm not a Bible thumper or anything, but I'll tell you what. She can't beat all the street smarts and all her wisdom and investigating frauds. She came into the wrong group. Liz, turn your life around, change your ways. I dated a psychic years ago, a girl named Dina. I won't say her last name. And she changed her life. She became Christian. She exposed it all. She wrote a book. And she said, look, it's all frauds. We stay at people's houses. We're going to do tarot readings, cards, this, that. And she admitted it was all a big con. She feels horrible for all the desperate people she's ripped off. So I just see a pattern here. I've seen it in other people. And, Mary was promised some interviews too, because having met me coming out of prison, she didn't know about the show. I told her after, we fell in love, and I asked her to be my girl. And so there's everything.
Oh, and by the way, there's this show.
Yeah, pretty much. We already became a couple, and I said, hey, we'll just offer the show. So she, as being my girl, we're going to be exposed to a lot of publicity and a lot of I'm getting really good reviews on the reviews. If you go on YouTube or Twitter, like hashtag inmate to roommate, you'll see all the comments negative about the people I was staying with and really good about me. People feel bad about the mess I was in and how I had to bite my tongue because I was on parole, but I had to put up with this bullshit.
Cool your sandwich on the air conditioner.
Right. So she's got to put up with this now too, from the people and these Seventh-day Adventists that were really being, hard on me and ridiculous, trying to convert me. And so Liz said, I got shows for women that you can get on that they talk about issues. And because you're going through some stuff with Bill because of the show. And how many shows did she promise you?
About 7 shows.
She had her booked on 7 shows. Not one materialized.
So someone reached out to me through the comments and said that that she approached someone asking for money for an interview from you. And it was a couple $1,000s. So I don't know where.
Oh, I've talked, and listen, I said earlier, I'm not going to name drop, and I'm not, because I promised these people that if they didn't want to be involved, I would not give their name. But it's ranged anywhere from a few thousand up to 15,000 in that ranges, depending on, the person and, their status. I think it just goes up if more important they are. And these are people that she claims are best friends that have no clue who she is, what she is, and everybody is starting to slowly figure it out. And I think the show happened at the perfect time to just put all this together.
My research, because I constantly stay on the internet now that I'm learning this, is that if you're doing speaking engagements, like I'm going to be speaking to universities, college students, criminal justice students, in churches, those you can be compensated for this, like fees for speaking engagements, especially now that TMZ, I got 7 million views a few days ago. Harvey Levin interviews me. Everything exploded. My life changed forever. But those type of interviews don't pay, but I benefit because people see that I'm trying to change my life.
Gives you exposure.
Exposure. So I'm grateful for that. For the record, I will tell everybody I do not charge for interviews at all. Speaking engagements, of course, that's negotiable. If you want to donate money, that's wonderful. I'm trying to earn a living. But do not talk to Godmother Agent about me. William Steele from Inmate to Roommate. She's not my agent. If anybody wants to contact me, and I'll put it out there, you guys can all see my website at the bottom of this. My email, phone numbers are on there.
The YouTube is in the description of the video. Right. I put everyone's channel in there.
Official William Steele is mine, and please contact me directly. I'd love to be on some of you guys' shows. I'm very easy to go get along with. I can do 4 or 5 shows a day. I'm running on 18 years.
I had a few shows lines up for you, and she canceled them. She sent him emails saying that he's not going to do it for less than $800 and this, that, and other. And I'm
She's
like,
full of crap. That's her, not me.
Yeah.
Well, let me
that's her, not me. And I apologize to anybody who believed that was coming from me. It never was.
I did a show in LA about maybe 4 months ago. I was doing a couple of shows. They flew me out to LA. And there's a picture of me that they took where I'm sitting down smoking a cigar like I always do, with tracksuit on and everything. She liked the picture. I think if you remember the Staxx, and she said she was putting it out on YouTube, and she was putting it out on TikTok. Every day she's telling me, "Look at this! You got 500 viewers in a half hour." P.S. She had it all the way up to that had 4 million viewers. And she guaranteed me that TikTok wants to do a whole show on me.
All right, Sandy.
They're going to pay me, I think, like $50,000 to do a half-an-hour show, 1 episode. And then she said YouTube, she knew the chairman of the board, as she put it on YouTube, wants to give me my own show on YouTube. I'll be getting like $10,000 a week to do the show. That's a famous.
Now she's related to Sinatra, right? Okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, then I find out she had a lot of problems up in Canada. She beat a lot of people up in Canada for rent money that she never paid them and took off. So, Liz, we know who you are, Miss Liz Coppola, because you're not a Coppola, that's for sure. And your name ain't Liz.
And hey, listen, you guys, Leslie Scholl, who just commented, was a doctor. He's a dear friend of ours, just got out of prison. He was scammed by Charles Ray Smith of Elkhart, Indiana. $1 million, $7 million. And he just commented in the chats. He follows you guys. I'm turning him on to all you guys' shows. And he's become a very dear friend. We're trying to get his reputation back and his medical license restored. So, hello, Les. Thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate
that.
Yeah,
I'm the only one doesn't have a. I don't have a
I-
show anymore. I'm the only one doesn't have a
I
channel.
will
I should
give her
probably start
every
one.
opportunity. I'll give her 100% the opportunity to come up and rebut everything that we said.
Yep.
So if you want to come up here and rebut everything that we said, then I will gladly schedule that show and we can make it happen. So
The
you
only thing
gotta.
she'll do is dig her lies deeper and try to turn us all against each other. Don't let it happen. And I
It's
think
not
that
gonna
should
happen.
be sent out to all her followers, friends, everybody. I contacted many people, and a lot of them came back with horror stories. They said they'd be watching tonight, but they're afraid to come forward because they don't know who she's connected with. I said she's connected to nobody.
Nobody.
And if you believe in me and my faith, I believe I have authority over that nonsense in Jesus' name, and that's all there is to it.
I think there's quite a few people watching that, like I said, for one reason or another, don't want to necessarily step in front and talk. But I've talked to quite a few people that have said they realized this as time went on, and she did. She tried to drive wedges between people numerous times. She told me to defriend Staxx, and Staxx, as you know, we may not always be in close contact, but if you ever had a show going, I would comment if I wasn't busy on my own stuff.
Yeah,
Same
like
with you.
I support everybody. I got no like, even if you're doing the
Exactly.
same kind of content as me, supporting other people is the objective.
It's all about lifting each other up.
Yeah,
Exactly
man.
right.
Exactly.
It's true.
Exactly.
It's true.
Some,
And,
some of the
this
comments I had, look, when I came out of prison, my fiance puts it really well to me. She says, you're still under the fog of incarceration, where I'm so enjoying my freedom and life and the blue sky and seeing free things and driving my caddy around, that I'm not really seeing a lot of things. Like I didn't know a lot about catfish and fake profiles and all this crap. And I've had people teach me all about this. I didn't really fall for anything, but I did fall for one guy who said he was Brad Pitt. Hey, look, this guy wanted to do a movie deal with me. I love your life story because I was working with an A-list screenwriter in California, Bettina Gillois. She passed away from cancer. To do my life story, she got screenplay. She was working with Queen Latifah previously and Warner Brothers and all these studios. Well, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, so I have all these good people in my life that's really helping me, and it's just incredible that I have to now coming out of this brain fog from being in prison so long. I have to sort through how do I figure out each one of these social medias? How do I figure out who the freak is a catfish? Who if I could actually buy a book or support me in any way.
It's hard because, like Steve said, she's good at it.
Yeah.
I just want
to. And hopefully, she's not gonna do this shit to no other people, and we're gonna keep it moving. And I'm not gonna dwell on this shit, man. I'm gonna keep it moving.
I want to use my platform to help people.
Do any of you know her real name?
No, we can't say her real name. We know her real name.
Oh, we can't say her real name.
You can't say it.
The thing that I can say is that everybody on here is blessed. I mean, you all have got amazing careers. You're doing amazing things. Eddie, you're working on a movie. William, you have an opportunity now. You're on A&E. I mean, nobody gets opportunities like that. Anthony, you've had your book. You got another one coming out. You got a great story. Wade, same thing. You got a great story. You're successful. Staxx, we know what you're doing, being successful. And it's great that we're all together. I believe that things happen for a reason, and there's a reason why we're talking. This is a really strong, united front. I don't think too many more people are going to be able to penetrate this wall. So I really like the fact that we're all allies on this thing. And, I'm curious to see what she's going to do. She has no courage. She's a coward, right. and she's a fraud.
Listen to me carefully. She says that she's a witch, right?
Giving witches a bad name.
Right. You ever remember the song "Ding Dong"? The witch is dead. The witch is
right. You know something? I just want to say one thing.
We got to throw a bucket of water on and see she melt.
Bill, you know what she did to me because I sent you screenshots.
Yeah.
You pretty much have a grip on what she's done to me.
Yeah.
Little bit different. Called me a stalker, this, that, inappropriate. Going into Messenger, I never even talked to this woman in Messenger.
That is bad.
She made me lose credibility with my group, Sicoli Films. And I love these people. They support me. They're behind me with the movie. They've been with me for 2 years since the inception of that site and the creation of it, that group, and Sicoli Films. I hope they're all watching this or they get to see it, the recording of it, because The ones that left me, the handful that left me, they're gonna now. They'll see. They'll see it wasn't me that was the problem. It was Liz Colton.
You know what's
Hey,
the
man,
shame? The shame
people
is
need to
that
know that she's
the shame is
not
that
the
her
person
victims
she
have to
says she
do.
is.
The
That's
shame
it.
is that her victims have to do reputation management right now. You know, and she's the one throwing us all under the bus, making up stories.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, making up story. You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, what's amazing
she could have wrote a novel. What she said about me online. You know, she could have made money on the novel. Write a novel, man.
But what's amazing is that even for as good as she is as being a grifter and being a con artist and a scammer, she's also really ignorant in the fact that, and other people that do this too are the same way, that you're going to go ahead and slam somebody's reputation on a show like this, a public forum that's recorded,
Not
that's
too
out
smart
for all.
because she got caught, man.
Yeah, she got caught, and other people
caught.
doing the same thing. So it's I think there are a lot of people that are just out of control. A lot of people think they can do what they want. There's no no ramifications, and now there's ramifications.
Steve, I think this show is going to give her a taste of her own medicine.
Yes, I agree.
And real quick, I want to shout out, everybody's obviously had their part in putting this together, but I want to shout out Staxx really quick for kind of really getting this off the ground, because it helps not only content creators like me and him and some of you other guys, but people with stores, people with film careers, anybody that's associated with this woman could be affected.
Yeah.
So it could hit a lot of people. So, shout out to Staxx for getting this off the ground. Shout out to all you guys for coming on and telling the story.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Thank you guys for joining me.
Inviting us, Staxx. I just, it's a shame we have to go there, but, this lady's just bullshitted all of us, and it's got to end.
Hey, hopefully there's not a part 2, but there might be.
There might be.
You never know.
Hey,
updated.
Her lawyers that she has on retainer for $10,000 a week.
$10,000.
They're going to sue all of them.
Yeah,
all gonna get
better
sued.
call Saul kind of guy showing
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, I'll be in touch with all of you, man. Thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a great night.
Yeah, great to see everybody.
Exactly.
Nice to meet you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Take care.
Thanks for
Best
having
of
us,
luck.
Staxx.
Best of luck on everything,
Yeah,
you guys.
nice
Best of
Nice
luck.
meeting you all,
Staxx.
man.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it was in a bad way, but nice meeting you all.
It's all
You
I'll
as
good.
join
well.
your groups, Eddie. I'm just hearing about them tonight, I think, for the first time. I'll join all your stuff, man. I'll spread it around my fans, too, and support
I
us.
appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. I need the credibility back in my group.
I'll do the same for everybody.
She
in this
destroyed
group.
it. She destroyed
Anthony.
it.
Hey,
Steve,
man, we're starting a new beginning right here, man. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get the videos every time they drop. Till next time, man. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Take care.